My topic. I want to talk about vasectomies. And should I have one?
Yes.
Chump move.
Say no.
Fucking chump.
I'm not a chump. That's a good point.
like-
I'm taking notes.
You're
Good
just
point.
like those chumps that tried to recall Scott Walker.
They all had
Sorry, Mom.
vasectomies.
My mom's a huge fan of the GameOverGreggy show. Sorry, Mom.
So, Greg, where does this come from?
I don't want children. Mm-hmm. And I ran out of condoms the other day. Not in like oh no, I was
It was
just like,
actually right after you got back from Scott and Sydney.
No,
Hold
no,
on,
no,
hold
no.
on, guys.
Well,
What
actually,
was
I guess
that, Greg?
that is when I ran
Not
out.
in like a.
No, this is me patting my pockets, but I'm sitting at a table. Like, I'm out of condoms. What do I do?
You're a 16-year-old boy, you got a condom in your wallet?
No, exactly. Well, remember, like you remember the days in like college when you have to go like your roommate's room and like knock and like, hey, you got a condom? Like you have that weird thing of like, I guess that's weird.
I guess.
Like,
It wasn't the weirdest. Usually, like, had like a quiet high five.
Loud high five.
And then he hands
No.
you the cellophane wrap from the kitchen. He's like, wrap it up.
Yeah. Enjoy. Here's a hefty bag. I'm over. I don't want to use this condom anymore. I don't want to do it, and I don't want kids. You know what I mean? That's the one thing. Like I've known forever I don't want kids. Ever since The Family Man with Nicolas Cage. We've talked about this in the show before. Everyone remembers this seminal film. His life.
Everyone remembers that.
Where you remember this, Marty?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All
With Tay Leone.
Exactly. Thank you.
Banging.
So hot.
Yeah.
I love
She was
Tay Leone.
the best thing in Bad
I
Boys.
love
and I
Tay
love
Leone.
Martin Lawrence.
Do you remember her terrible show on Fox for a while?
Nope.
And she was like, it doesn't matter.
She's married to David Duchovny.
Are they
Fool's
still
a
married?
Sex addict.
I know. I
he
knew
doesn't
that was
use
the-
condoms.
Yeah, he doesn't use anything. I'm sure.
Yeah, he's a raw dogger.
No, so over the condoms, and then it's just like, I don't want kids, right? So what am I waiting for? Well, I've already made that decision. I'm 31. Is that going to change anytime soon? No. You know what I mean?
You're still going to be 31 until your next birthday.
Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean, Glee. I don't want the kids, so like, it's like, what? It's like, what am I waiting for? What's the deal? Why do I care? And remember when I caught the cancer, and they're like, all right, now you should freeze your sperm. It might make you sterile. I was like, that's good. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't want kids. He's like, well, you're too young to decide that. I'm like, I'm pretty sure. And he's like, and then he gave me the brochure for freezing your sperm, and that shit's expensive. And I was like, well, no.
Remember that when
I'm not going to do this. I'm not. And then I was kind of like hoping.
And then you were like, can you help me fill the bottle up? And I was like, no, I wouldn't.
You just toss an ice cube tray.
And that was the last conversation with Colin you ever recorded.
And the reason the show doesn't happen was just two of us anymore. Some for protection. So I don't know. I want to know what your thoughts on vasectomies are in general, because it's a weird thing. I don't like anybody fooling around down there with a knife. Put that out there right now.
Doesn't sound fun.
There's two things you don't like.
Yeah.
People fooling around down there with a knife.
Or people playing on my phone.
your phone. How'd you know?
What are
Because
they?
we're the same fucking person.
They're playing on your phone?
Yeah, I don't like people playing on my phone.
Oh.
I don't like people playing on my phone. Dave Chappelle show.
Chappelle show, yeah.
Keeping it real goes wrong.
I keep it real.
It's also mentioned in a Tech Nine song. Everybody should listen to Tech Nine.
Tech 9?
Tech Nine.
Why don't you get him on the
Tech is
show?
off. Oh.
Why am I here?
I'm actually
Why is
working
Tech
on
9
it.
not
I'm
here?
working on Tech Nine. Everybody
Okay.
tweet at Tech Nine.
Why
Tell
is
them to come on the
Laverne
Game
and
Over
Shirley
Greggy show.
here?
Yeah. Tech 9's not a chump.
No, Tech Nine is not a
Not
chump.
at all.
Yeah, not at all.
I'm against the vasectomies.
For me or in general?
For you. I feel like the winds change every once in a while.
Yeah.
I know you're 31. You don't want a kid right now. But for vasectomies, it's sort of like a done bun can't be undone. I guess you could get a reverse.
Yeah, but
vasectomy.
that's not 100%. They say.
Sure. To me, like I don't want a kid now, and I absolutely don't want a kid now. And I've been with my girlfriend for 4 years.
Sure.
give or take 9 months.
When you have the kid.
That was a weird. Yeah. We were broke up for 9 months in the middle of it, and that's always a weird span to explain to people. Like it just happened to me 9 months.
She said she had to take care of something that she was gone for 9
Yeah,
months. She came back.
yeah. It was weird. But yeah, I mean, she has a Nuva ring, and that's the best. And I haven't used a condom in 3 years.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
sorry, what did you just say?
Nuva ring.
I think
Or
she's maneuvering. And
She's
I'm like,
maneuvering.
Is she
Yeah,
really
she
good at like
maneuvers.
moving some
It's a-
way? to
She's
make-
dodging sperm.
Or it's wait, no, it's not a Nuva ring. It's an IUD.
An IED.
An IUD.
She has an improvised explosive in her?
Wait, what's
Why aren't you
what's the
telling
term?
someone?
Wait, what's the term?
That's
IUD.
the way I want to
IUD.
die.
An
That's the
IUD.
way I want to die. An awesome way. How did Greg die? He was fucking and hit an improvised explosive device.
Well, that was the guy with the watch.
All right, good point.
Yeah, this all comes
Okay,
together.
an IED. An IUD was what was in Ground Zeroes. That was the wrong.
Oh,
that was the wrong
right.
thing.
Yeah.
You're confusing video games with sex.
Yeah, with sex. Yeah,
We
as
all do.
know. An IED. But yeah, no condoms. I don't know. Where's my condoms? I don't knock on my random roommates. You got condoms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the thing was, like, Christine, I mean, first off, you're talking about your current girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm talking about independent of relationships, and in other relationships, I know I don't want a kid. Like, it's not just something I've come to terms with Christine. It's something I've known for a long time.
Oh, gotcha.
And so that's
Ever?
Yeah,
You'd
no.
make a good dad.
A lot of people say that. I think I'd make a good guy with a lot of money on his own and independence.
Yeah, you'd probably be a good dad.
I could do stuff at Mizzou. I could spend money for people and things.
But
finally adopt me.
But what about there's just a random chance that maybe things don't work out. You find a new, you date someone else in the future, and she wants to have kids, and that's really important to her.
Yeah.
Now you can't live in the future.
Yeah.
But I want you to have one just because I think it would be funny. One. And two,
Wait, what part of it's funny?
that you're gonna have a vasectomy. I want to chronicle the whole thing. And two,
But I mean, like, are you gonna make fun of me for
not my
like?
bitch.
Oh, you're firing blinks over there! Yay, Spider-Man!
do the fucking Dice square. But two, I've only known one other person that's ever had a vasectomy.
Yeah.
Tim the Toolman Taylor had a vasectomy, I believe, in Home Improvement.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I've never met anyone that had it.
but he's your hero.
He is my hero.
Yeah, 3 kids.
Also, but he already had 3 children, so that's like a different game.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And Patricia,
Was there a
and
4th
Patricia-
by the end of that show?
No, I don't think
That
they
was
ever
not
had.
just every other show.
In the reboot, there will be.
Oh my
God.
god!
Wilson's
I
hell.
want-
I would
Home
totally
Improvement.
go for another Home Improvement.
Yeah.
Is Wilson dead?
I think so. I mean, he died canonically in the show.
The fence fell on him. I was into that.
Yeah.
See, again, though, it comes down to the fact that I think now, if Christine dies in an plane explosion or something, she dies of a sex device.
Or maybe you just things change in the future. You just don't want to. You don't want to.
Oh, she's not getting out of this alive.
I don't want you to tie yourself up.
But stick with me.
Literally.
Stick.
Damn.
Okay, but I understand that. But I think first date kind of conversation from here on out. Of course, being in our 30s now. Oh, what do you want to do with your future? I don't want to have kids. I'm very upfront about that. You know what I mean? But
Is that the first line?
yeah,
No kids.
pretty much.
Okay.
She's like, "Hi, my name is."
You want a
I don't
baby
want
one
any
day?
kids.
You want a baby one day? You want a baby one day? Until she answers, and then I introduce myself, and I
Is
tell her
it
how
the
many Twitter
fear
followers I have.
of something that is a part of you? Like, would you adopt?
No, I mean I just don't want a child. I do not want to have to worry about a kid.
I feel you.
They take up a lot of your time. I always say that I'm too selfish for a child, and I don't know when that's going to change. Right? I don't feel like I'm a good dad to Portillo. I don't feel like I'm a good boyfriend to Christine most of the time. Right? Like we all Colin.
You're a
and I-
terrible boyfriend to me.
Yeah, well, no, you and I are pretty good, actually. We're probably the best, most healthy relationship out of all the relationships in this house. But that's the thing, like, I'm always going to want to sneak off and do this podcast or go stream a video game or just play a video game or go on a trip or do something, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want, and maybe it's definitely going to change one day where I don't want to travel as much, you know what I mean? But like right now, it's like, Danny Shepard from the Nightwing series, right? He's like, oh, come to the premiere of Nightwing. And I'm like, yeah, I'll totally do that. That turns out it's on a Wednesday, so no, I'm not going to do that. But like on a weekend, right, to go to Vegas to do something great. And the only thing is where are we going to put the Portillo? You know what I mean? Where are you going to put the little wiener dog? And that's what I say. He's just, even at times, he's a little bit too much responsibility for me. Where it's like, motherfucker, I'm going to go out tonight with so-and-so, but I got to go home first and walk the dog. Or I got to ask Christine to walk the dog. Or on the worst day possible, I got to ask Colin to do it. I've only done it twice in our career.
That's not true. I used to walk your dog all the time. You stopped doing it a couple of years ago.
Okay, so in recent
I'm gonna
memory.
murder someone.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like a kid on top of that, like
Colin
worrying about
walking the
that,
kid.
and all the bullshit
No,
you
you
have to
don't
do.
want that.
I mean, I'm not trying to
I would
harp
walk
on
the kid
kids or whatever.
and
Don't
put the
get me
diaper on Portillo.
wrong. Kids out there,
It's like a movie. It's a bad late '80s, rom-com.
When Greg Miller needed to go to Vegas on short notice, he turned to his best friend Colin Moriarty. we got to get to the other part of it. We're going to the montage too early. But yeah, like I don't. Nothing about a child sounds attractive.
What if it's a hot child?
But I don't want to raise them. I don't want to deal with it. Like when kids get to the part where they're cognizant and can have a conversation with you, it's like, all right, you're pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like when I just went back to Missouri for a wedding, right? One of the kids there now is old enough to sing the Missouri fight song, and he plays baseball and he does all this thing and he talks and he's funny and he blah blah. He does. It's great. You know what I mean? But then his little brother is still just a little shit.
Did you smoke a doob with them?
Oh my god! The first thing I did, like here, to pull a jack.
Yeah.
Takes
You ever
the
get
bottle.
wet? Yeah. No, that was from training day. That was Angel Dust, PCP, Sherman Helms.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
That's a great movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
incredible.
So here's the thing. I think I want to have kids in the future. I don't want to have them right now. I think my girlfriend's much more ready to do it than I am. I think a lot of that's biological for a lot of women. They feel like that there's like a literal time that they're ready to do it. But I do find myself, I used to kind of cringe around kids. I don't want to like really be around them. But when I see like a dad or a mom walking with their little boy or their little girl, whatever, and like they're doing something funny, I always kind of smirk and I laugh.
Yeah.
I feel about it differently. It's supposed to be like, oh, I fucking hate kids. Now I'm just like, oh, that's funny. That little girl's funny.
Well, that's the thing is,
like she's being funny.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. And I'm like, what? And then like I'll have like I'll be like, I'm like, maybe that's just the way it goes. And I've said it before, I like the idea of bringing a couple Moriartys into this world.
Yeah.
You know? And just wreaking havoc with them.
See, there's just that thing. I'm joking about the little brother being a little shit, right? He cries, obviously, and he does all that stupid stuff. You got to change his diapers. You got to put him to bed. Do all this dumb stuff that I definitely never want to. Just raise him tough.
Yeah, just
like
raise
that.
him out there and
But like,
tell him
there's
to clean up
that,
after
and then like Arthur Parsons, who's like in charge of the Lego video games, right? He has a daughter named Lily, who's, I'm gonna get that wrong, 9-ish, 10-ish, whatever. She came to E3 and she was awesome.
She was awesome.
She's
at Comic-Con?
Yeah,
She ran the
Comic-Con.
demo.
That's what I'm thinking
Yeah.
of. Sorry, not E3. Comic-Con. Yeah, she played the demo for her dad's game and did all this stuff.
Yeah,
and
she
then
was awesome.
She was fantastic. You know what I mean? Like at that point, you're like, that's awesome. Can I skip to just getting a 9 or 10-year-old that loves you? That I don't. Have to
I want a
bring-
precocious 9-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. But then even then, I'm like, all right, I don't know if I want to take care of you all the time.
Yeah.
'Cause then
And
you go home-
13 to 16. Good Lord, no.
Yeah, I
don't
gotta,
want
and then I got to
that.
get a shotgun, scare off all the boys.
Yeah. Is that how it works? I do want to be a father someday. I don't want to be for quite a while, but I think part of it is like I have a lot invested in nostalgia, in sort of like certain memories and images of my childhood, stuff like Halloweens and Christmases and summers and sort of summer vacations, like the time when I was like 5 through 15. And I feel like that's instead of harping on shit like that, like the easiest way to sort of either relive that or capture some of that same essence in another way is to have a child.
Sure,
eventually.
that's true,
And be able
that's
to do
true.
some of those same things and not like pigeonhole a kid like you're gonna be the baseball player I could have been. But
Yeah.
like I want you to enjoy Halloween like I did. I want
Right.
you to have rad Christmases.
I like
and
that.
Christmas
That is the
breaks
big thing
I
of
did.
like I like when I was walking in Missouri through the toy aisle like that I haven't been through in years, right? And you get to like the Fisher Price like set, not like the baby toys, but not like the action figures, but there's this like mid-range tier of, and they had this giant wall, and it was like obscure DC Comics characters, and I'm trying to convince the two little boys who are into sports to like this, and they want nothing to do with it. I'm like, you don't understand, like this is literally what I used to dream about, that there would be a world like this. I remember reading Superman comic books, and when they'd get into a fight in a toy store and there'd be Superman toys on the wall, I'd be like, "Whoa, if only to live in that universe and buy those." You know what I mean? And here you can buy a Brainiac and a Green Lantern. Are you kidding me? Like, do this.
Yeah, no, I feel that though. You know, like we've said on the show before, many, you know, all my siblings, I have 3 siblings, all of them have kids. They all say, you know, you're never ready to have a kid, and you're just gonna have the kid, and then you're ready, and then everything changes, and you suddenly realize why you must have this kid and how you care about it or whatever. The one thing about the toys though, I always go to the toy section when I'm in Target or something.
Oh, yeah, you
I have to go. And GI Joes, man, were $3 when I was a kid. $3 fucking dollars, and now they're like $10 or $12.
Dude, they're like...
Get the
Ninja
fuck
Turtles
out of here
are
with
like
that
$15.
shit. Like, are you kidding me? That's insane. I feel like it's harder and worse to be a kid now.
But there's more points of articulation.
There is. I love points of articulation.
I know you do.
I really do.
It don't make no sense.
I want a little
Video
girl.
games are cheaper. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
No,
I was just going to say, I want a little girl. That's the end of my point. One day,
Yeah.
there's going to be a little
You
girl.
want a little,
Gettys.
you don't want a little boy?
Little boy would be cool, but like, I think I'd do good with a little girl.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was telling this to my
You have a
my
lot.
girlfriend.
You have a lot in common when you like what you like about movies.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I tell this to my girlfriend. Like I would rather have a girl than a boy too, because I think little girls are funny. I think like whenever I see like a little boy is usually being like you know 4 or 5, 6-year-old boy. I remember we were all that was kind of like a dick. You're loud. You don't really care. I think girls are smarter, and they grow up quicker, and they become like little funny people in your family quicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like they're just more mature.
Sure.
So like I feel like a father-daughter relationship's like really kind of special. You know, the same way with a mother and a son. That's the way I feel about my mom, of course. And,
Yeah.
and even though I love my dad too, you know, I always kind of gravitate towards that, like where it's like I just think that'll be funny to have like you know like watch this little girl grow up. You know, and it'll be quicker and easier, I think. But maybe that's not true. I don't know. Maybe it's easier to raise a boy. But I've heard that boys are much harder to raise. My sister Dana has 3 boys that are, what are they? 7, 5, and 2. It's like, oh man. I'm sorry.
I think it's the learning curve thing, because like with the boys, I think it's a lot rougher in the beginning, and like through until they're like 12 or 13. And I feel like with girls, it's the opposite, where it's like it's easy, and then all of a sudden it becomes impossible.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like, you're like, okay, you hate me. You hate me
your
more
chump
than
weapons
anything.
out.
Oh man,
Going your chump
bunch of
purge.
chumps. Yeah.
See, the concern about, and this would be my sole concern, which I'm not really concerned about, but is concerning, would be the fact that if I don't have kids and everybody else has kids, then it's like, hey, you want to come do this? You want to go do that? No, I have a kid. No, all right, fine.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to this show when you two have kids? You're just visiting. You can do whatever you want. You can get a babysitter for the night. You two, though.
I don't know.
Everything goes to
Be
hell.
on the show.
They'll be on the show? I do.
We're gonna have other significant others that can take care of the kids while we're doing this.
Sure, but they're going to guilt you on it. They'll be waving the rolling pin.
Oh man,
Baking
Game
pin.
Over
What
Greggy
am I thinking of?
babies. How great would that be?
Oh my god.
Game over, Greggy babies. Dreams come. Oh, will you die? They all have the same conversations.
I like it.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to turn your little baby daughter onto all the Disney movies, and then I just send the YouTube link to her of the princesses her dad wants to fuck.
Things happen, man.
Things happen, man. That's the one.